I'm Chef Joya, and I'm all over social media platforms known for making the vegan versions of your favorite soul food and African and Caribbean dishes so good that they rival the originals. But on this podcast, I'm sharing the stories behind the magic, from my very own vegan journey and celebrity stories to topics I care deeply about, like food injustice, family, and life as an influencer. So grab a seat, cozy up, and let's get into it. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Chef Joya, and this is episode 2 of Plant Girl Magic. Now, I've asked you all what you want to hear, things that you would like for me to talk about, and being an influencer was high on the list. Everybody wants to be an influencer, a content creator, and it's like you really never get those raw answers. I think, at least I don't. When I was trying to break into the world of content creating and influencing, a lot of people didn't want to give a lot of information. You really don't know the ins and outs. It looks really good, but there is a lot of things that come along with it. So I'm going to lay it all out for you. And I actually got me some little notes here. And I'm going to, take a couple sips of my wine, just so, let it all be out. And yes, my wine is vegan. Okay, vegan wine. All right, so let's get started on these topics. Do I get a little music intro here?
Make your magic, make it vegan for transition.
Let's just get straight into it. The side of being an influencer that a lot of people don't talk about and everyone wants to talk about is the long hours that goes into it. You all get to see the 60-second videos, the 15-second videos, 30-second videos. You get to see the oohs, the ahs, the special effects, but you don't ever get to see that there's 1 or 2 tripods going. You may need to get a helping hand. For me, I have children, so my children has been like my helping hand. Like, I need you to hold it here, bend it here, go this way, go that way, just so it can create a perfect angle that's making it more interesting for you all to watch. Like, my videos have came a long way, even within just this last year. I used to just speed them up, and people like, slow down, I can't tell what you're doing, what you're doing. And I was like, child, y'all just want me to, go slow. But I look back at some of those videos, I was like, girl, I don't even know how people followed you. But I'm glad that they stuck with it. I'm glad that they did follow me. But it takes a lot of time. A recipe that honestly takes 30 minutes to make takes about 2 hours on video. Anywhere for me, it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Then you still have to edit it. And editing takes anywhere from an hour. And especially if you do a voiceover, because you have to think about what you want to say. You have to enunciate words a certain way. So there's different things that comes into play when making these videos. And it's a lot of work. And for me, it took a while for that payoff to show. And I did it because I love to do it, right? So that was a thing that helped me keep going, because I wasn't getting paid for the content. I wasn't, it didn't make me have more pop-ups here in Charlotte. It was just something that I enjoy doing, creating videos. I enjoy doing it. And I know when the pandemic hit, that's when I changed up my style, because I see different things on TikTok. And I was like, okay, let me try doing it a different way. And I actually had, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. What is Sweet is Green Vegan? I remember one day I was like, hey, what type of videos you use? What kind of camera you use? And she was like, oh, 4K. And she was like, my iPhone. I was like, your iPhone? I was like, yeah, right. I was like, that's like professional equipment. She was like, no, seriously, I put it on 4K and I do it. And I'm like, wow. And nobody has ever told me that over the years. So literally when I make the switch to the 4K, my videos change tremendously. And then it also, changed, you learn at different angles. Like if you lay your phone down this way, or if you put it on the slant, or you have something fade in the background, it makes the view of the other things bigger, makes it more attractive. Those are just some tricks and things that I learned along the way about that. And then it's the other part of being a content creator, you don't even sleep, child. Seriously, your brain is always going. I sleep about content, right? So I'll go to sleep and it'll be on my mind. I'll wake up, sometimes I jump out of bed. And Ava used to be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I gotta go make this video. I just had a dream or whatever. And now she don't even ask me. I'm like, I'm going downstairs. She'll be like, okay. But it's you dream about it. You want to just have, I don't know what it is. It's you kind of just want to have this thing to where you're making a name for yourself almost. And it's like, what's the goal? Because a lot of times for me, I know what my goal is, but a lot of times people are like, Chef Joy, you can make so much money. You could be making this, that, and the other. You could sell master classes. You could sell different classes. You could do this. And I'm like, my thing is, I just really want people to know this information, to have it, to know how to cook. Because I know, being out here, being vegan, it's hard for me to go out to eat because there's not a lot of food. And people are like, oh, Chef, you just think that your food, that's just because nobody else's food tastes like yours. And I'm like, no. And that's a problem because just as well I make really good food, they can make really good food as well. And so it's like, maybe they just don't know how. Maybe they seen somebody that did something and they thought that was the best they ever had. I have a lot of people feel like that they had really great vegan food until they've had my food. And they're like, wait a minute, what is this? So it's just different levels to it. And I just really want that to just be like a universal language or something, so people can actually have really great food. So that's really why I do it. And everything else took a life of its own by me content creating. Like, I actually built a community. I go over on Instagram and some people on Facebook. We go with the Joy Birds. And that's a name that they actually chose for themselves because it was like a following that I have that I'm teaching people how to create these delicious vegan meals. And they're learning my recipe. They're learning my ways. And I have so much content. And sometimes I feel like I'm not even putting out enough content. And, I had one follower, if y'all ever hear me talk about like Natty, she like, girl, you got content for days. And I don't like to repeat things. So I just recently started uploading some of my older videos because I'm like, Chef, you got plenty of content. And like, I probably should archive a lot of them. Erica like, girl, you need to archive some of those recipes. But I just keep it out there because there's so many different things that can be veganized, things that you can try. And I just want everybody to know and see that. So yeah, long hours, sleepless nights, you're thinking about food, dreaming about food. And then one of the hugest things for me, honestly, was sacrificing my family time. I am big on family and friends. I love being the life of the party. I love going out. I love having gatherings at my house. I love entertaining people, but it's literally, we can have a get together or a birthday party. What am I doing? Editing a video. Be like, hey girl, what you doing? I'm at the grocery store. I got to make a video. Hey girl, I'm at the grocery store. I got to go live tonight. Hey girl, I got to do this. I got to get morning. I got to make this video. So it's like, you don't get a chance to really spend a lot of time with your friends and family anymore because you're doing this content creating. Like, it is a sense of freedom because you're not clocking in doing a 9 to 5 and this, that, and the other. But the thing about me, I'm not just a content creator. I'm actually a chef in real life. I actually have clientele. I actually cook private dinners for people. I actually do small caterers. I actually work. So I have this lifestyle as a content creator and an actual chef. And I'm just now literally realizing within this last month how much work that I actually do. A lot of people all the time just be like, Chef, I don't even understand how you do all that. And I was like, it's nothing. I was like, I'll make little jokes here and there, like, oh, that's because I'm crazy or whatever. But it is really a lot of work. Now I look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I don't know if it's because of, I'm getting up there in age, but I'm like, I'm actually getting tired. And I was never tired before. So that's that. And it does make me feel some type of way sometimes when I can't spend time with my nieces and nephews and, birthday parties because what TT Joya doing? TT Joya is making content. TT Joya make content all the time. Even, sometimes the kids come knock on the door. I'm a little agitated because I'm editing the video. And it's like, they can't even ask like the simple questions because I'm literally always working. And always working looks like, let's just say, I already told you I can barely sleep because I'm always dreaming of content, but I have to execute it. I have to shop the ingredients. I have to think about what I'm going to do. I change my mind sometimes. Oh, let me see what's better. Well, my audience like this better. Well, like this. But then I still have to cook dinner and I still have to do things for my family. I still have to, it's a lot of work, but I'm grateful. I wouldn't change it. But it'll be, let me say, will I change it? Some things I would be able to change once I get in a certain position to where I'm not doing as much content. But as of right now, it is what it is. That's just what it is. The other part that nobody loves to talk about when it comes to content creating is that it is expensive. Okay? It is absolutely expensive. I'm going to drink some wine on this one. All right. So I'm going to tell you all the tea. It's expensive, and I'll say it for me. Some people can do it different ways. Some people like, chef, I ain't doing all that. I'm just going to set up my camera. I'm going to do this myself, that, and the other. But you got to remember, for me, I am an actual chef. I have clients in real life. I actually work and do other things. So when I do my YouTube channels, y'all be surprised how much it costs me, okay? My YouTube channel is literally, I'm not paid for my YouTube channel. I just started being able to monetize on YouTube, and it ain't even gave me a fraction of as much money as I put into my own YouTube channel, because I pay a whole production team to come in and do my YouTube. And that's because I want y'all to have the best quality videos there is. You know, could I set up cameras? Could I edit it? Could I do that? I probably could, but do I have the time to do it? I absolutely do not. Even the podcast, that costs me to do it. But I just want this information and material to be out there to y'all, so I don't mind doing it. But buying the equipment, make sure I have multiple cameras when I'm doing shorts, the tripods, the groceries. It's just a lot of it is coming out of pocket. I wish I was one of the content creators like, cash at me, da-da-da-da. I wish I was like that sometimes, but it is what it is. I have angel blessings on my page, so if y'all ever want to be like, oh, bloop, bloop, you could do that, but I'm still going to keep the content coming. But it does cost a lot, but in the end, it's rewarding, because I've helped so many. And like I always say, the biggest payment is when y'all share me or tell somebody else about me, because somebody is somebody somewhere, right? Everybody is somebody. And it's always amazing to see how far word of mouth go. So I love that you all do that. So I keep the content coming, and I love that you're able to correct some of the things that you've been doing, that you've been seeing, and you don't do those things anymore, because some things be terrible. I'll be like, oh gosh, when I see bad recipes, I'll be like, oh no. Yeah, so, you know, I would say for me, honestly, I probably spend like, make sure nobody hear me, but they're gonna hear when I do this podcast. I probably spend like a month on social media. That's what I spend. Look, I'm trying not to say. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. Like, hey, if it's saving people from eating another cow, chicken, pig, or whatever, hey, I don't listen. I done say the world, okay? Woo! All right. See, I told you I have my notes in here. I'm like, do I really want to say this? But I am going to say, because it's all about being real. It's all about who I am as my personality. I'm used to like people ask me questions, I have different interactions, but hey, we're here. Let's talk about it. The other thing about being an influencer that no one likes to talk about is about being a Black vegan creator. I know some of y'all might turn it off at this point, be like, oh, she's pulling the Black card or whatever. No, it's a real card. It's very different to what the attention and the notoriety that you get from different platforms. There's so many major platforms out here, and there's different chefs that talk about it all the time. I usually just don't talk about it because I be like, I don't care. I'm reaching to people who needs to be reached. But they're showing like the same couple people over. They'll usually show somebody from the UK or somebody in Europe. So, you know, someone that's Asian, but the Black content creators, they really don't show like that. And sometimes they do here and there, but it's very whitewashed. And it's a shame, because even if it's not me, it could be somebody that does soul cooking, that actually does soul cooking, not, you know, blanched soul cooking. They actually cook soul food, vegan food, Caribbean food, African food. And they are really, really teaching you how to do it. And it's not so cookie cutter. I think that, I don't know what it is or why they don't do it, but I know Black creators have to work like 3 times as hard just to get half of the recognition that they have. The only time that I see that a lot of the platforms want to focus on Black content creators is during Black History Month, or some type of purpose where they say, hey, we stand in solidarity. And no, you don't. There were so many content creators that reached out when the George Floyd thing happened. After, what's his name? I'm the worst with name, but I love faces. Bad is, you know, I can't say that on YouTube, but Vegan, he snapped. He went off. He was like, don't y'all reach out to me. Don't y'all say nothing. Don't y'all do this, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Then everybody want to say, hey, we stand with the Black people. We stand with this. And I'm like, child. But I'm not going to get tell no stories. I rolled a little wave. I got the little coins from them. But I knew and I watched it all be over, right? But I'm not upset with it. What I did say is that I know that's not part of my purpose. And I'm not big on working with people who don't genuinely want to work with me. I even said it's about any celebrity I ever worked with. Like, my energy attracts certain people in certain platforms. So if it's not attracting your platform, if it's not attracting you, I'm not meant to be there. So it doesn't bother me. But it's like, you're not going to use me. You're not going to use me for any of that. But it's like, it does make you feel some type of way when somebody can slice up some tofu, pour some beet juice on it, wrap it in seaweed paper, and say, hey, here's some beet and salmon. And they get 1 million something views and thousands of shares, and they did absolutely nothing and put a lick of salt or pepper on there. But they probably put some kelp on there. No, they got a seaweed paper, so they do that. They do the bare minimum. And I'm over here doing gymnastics, hitting, I don't know if it's called 10 points or whatever, hitting all the stuff. And then it's like, oh, poop. Yay. I'm celebrated by my people. I'm celebrated by my followers, which I absolutely love, and that's who matters the most. But it's just amazing and wow me how these larger platforms don't try to make deals with these content creators that actually cooks their food. It's cute to have quick and easy recipes, but how good is it to actually have recipes that actually teach you how to cook, teaches you how to make your own foods taste good so you don't go out, so you know what you're cooking, you know what you're eating. But whatever, that's what it is, and that's how it's been. It don't make me mad because I'd be like, whatever. But I just be like, I see what you're doing. Another thing about being an influencer that nobody talks about is that you can't have a bad moment. Honey, boo-boo, child. Let me drink another sip of wine so that... So look, somebody judging me right now because I'm drinking my wine. And it is. I'm going to drink my wine. You can't have any, human moments. Everybody has this expectation. I'm not going to say everybody. People have this expectation of you have to be perfect. That your personal life, your relationships, all of it has to be normal and perfect. That's why I stopped showing my kids on the internet. I used to hide Ava's name because I just didn't want people being nosy and judging. And I really don't care what people think, but anything you do, oh, they doing this for attention. Oh, this, that, and that. Why do you have to have so much of an opinion about somebody's life? I mean, I know we're putting out there social media is but I could literally see stuff that's happening. I do not care. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to do any of that. It's just and even if you do, even if you feel like you built a community and you're talking to people, it's always going to be that one person that got something to say. And it's well, I'm glad your life is perfect. It's it's not. We are human. Before anything, I tell people, before I'm Chef Joya, I am Joya. I am just Joya. I am human. Y'all have literally grew my following off of who I am. I did not try to be a content creator originally. I was a chef. Before that, I was a mom that cooked dinner for my kids, that cooked dinner for my friends and family, that just loved to have people over. I used to have whole tangents on the internet, but I had to stop that as I grew. But I kind of was put into this position of content creating because people like you loved what I did. And I wanted to share that with people. So they put this standard on me that, put me in the forefront. But I'm it didn't change my personality. You can admire my work. You can admire what it is I do. You can love my personality. You can love my energy because it is contagious. It is all that good stuff. But I am human. I have emotions. I have feelings. I may say some things. It's normal. It is normal. So that's what I wanted to touch down on that. And then also, it's the other thing that people, child. The other thing is that the no separation between work and life. Let's just say that. There's no separation. Everything is content. Everything is content. From you hanging out with your friends is content. From you going shopping is content. Everything is content. Sometimes I get so sick of it because we could be in a moment. We were doing something. I was oh, do that again. Oh, let me catch you from here. I feel like I'm on a reality show. everything is content. And I'm like, Joy, just enjoy the night. Like sometimes what I have started to do is that when I've had like made host parties at my house, that's why a lot of times there's not many pictures of me, because I'll make sure I hang out with my friends and I forget to take pictures. And I actually get aggravated when people will say, hey, let's take pictures. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm so bossy. What it is like, I want a moment to not be in front of the camera. I just want to enjoy the night. I don't want to sit there and take selfies. I don't want to sit there and record. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it and saying it out loud in this moment, I get aggravated when people are taking pictures at the parties. And in this moment, I just realized it's like, just live. But I'm like, Joya, that's not their life. Your life is capturing content over and over and over and over and over again. They don't do that. So this is fun for them. For you, that looks like work. For you, that looks like, let me set this up, being tedious, pose, this, that, and the third. This is something that they're just doing every now and then. This is something that you do all the time. And now you're finally trying to take a break from it. They're actually trying to capture something and you're annoyed because you're looking at it like work. I literally just got that epiphany while I was making this video. The other part about being an influencer, it's hard to tell when somebody is giving you trolling information, or like they just want you to work for free. They say, hey, we'll see you some product going for free. Like, bruh, no. I'm not doing nothing for free for you. I don't even know you. Now, don't get it wrong. There's some certain companies I will create free content for, right? But there's other companies, no, you don't support me in that way. So no, I'm not going to do that for you. And then it's like having your rates. I've had companies say, hey, no, we're not going to pay you that much. So usually for 100,000 followers, we only pay like $1,500. Yes, I'm going to throw the number out here. I was like, who, boo-boo the fool? Like, no, because that's not how it works. Even though I have a following, right? I have an influence, and there's a difference between having an influence and just a following. There's people that have a whole bunch of following and have no influence, right? And there's other people that have influence. I know I have influence. And the thing about me is because I don't put out any bad products. You cannot pay me enough to put out bad information. If it's not good, then it's not good. If I feel like you have a brand that I really absolutely love and I want to work with your brand, and for some reason, if you don't have the budget or if you have a semi-budget and I think you have really great product and we talk about it a certain way, I'll be like, let me do this. Because that's just what it is. But when you feel like you're entitled, oh, I'm going to send you something and you're going to post 3, 4, 5 posts. I will not. And it's just like, it'd be the audacity for me. I'd be like, oh, are you serious? Okay, no. And I've even tried to hit it up in a way. I started doing this thing, like a brand reach out to me. They never want to tell you what their budget is, right? And so they'll reach out and they'll be like, hey, we got X, Y, Z. And they'll send all these criteria, right? And they'll say, please let us know what your budget is. Let us know what your rate is. And I'll give a rate, 6,000, 7,000, right? Depending on what it is. And they're like, oh, well, we usually pay about $700 to $1,500 or whatever the case may be. Now, there was one brand that I really would have worked with. I would have did the $1,500 or whatever for, because I actually used their products. And so I sent the email back. I said, because they said, well, hopefully we can work with you in the future. And I said, you know what? I think I said, hey, because I said, I do use your product. I do love your brand. I think this would be a great opportunity for my viewers and my following to see the many different ways I can use your product, because I do use it very often. I've been using your products, since I was a kid. I think it'll be great. So that's like this time we can do it for this rate. And, going forth, because, I know you'll love the work. Going forth, we can talk about negotiating the rate, in the future. And it was really like calm, polite, all that good stuff, ghosted, nothing. But that's happened to me twice. And I'm like, okay. Because I'm not going to change what my actual rate and my prices are. But I'm learning that certain companies, when they hit you with what they want, this criteria, and they're asking you for this budget, they're not trying to pay you anyway. So that's how I feel about it. Now, I had one company that say, hey, we want X, Y, Z, and we're going to give you voila. And I was like, okay, work on it. They came out the park with top dollar amount. And they actually only wanted me to do a TikTok. But I did a TikTok, I did Instagram, and I did a Facebook. Because they literally came at me correct with a nice dollar amount. And it was like, okay, here we go. And I was like, that works for me. It made me feel appreciated. And what making me feel appreciated, it's like you make me feel appreciated, I give you more than what you asked for. That's just how I am. I don't do bare minimum. Like I was talking about like the bad things, but like the good thing, being a content creator, guys, actually overall, it's amazing. It's beautiful. Like I said, I wouldn't change it. There's a few things I would tweak here and there, but I really wouldn't change it. I love it. I never desired to be a content creator. That was not the goal. I just wanted to share my food. But now that I am here, that I am a content creator, I love that I inspire people. I love the DMs that I get, the messages that I get from all over my social media platforms, whether it's from the LGBTQ community, whether it's from someone who can't afford a lot of meals and they're made to feel bad or think they can't be vegan because they don't have the budget for it. Even if it's moms or just different chefs, like so many people every day, literally every day, I get some sort of thank you message, some sort of chef, you inspire me. I get something every day. And that just makes me smile. And it's a reminder of why I do what I do. Yes, when I'm able to get paid by influencer gigs, yes, it helps. It absolutely helps. But the biggest payment of all is literally those thank yous, those shares, those reposts. Chef Joya is the best. Those, oh, I know this dope Chef Joya. Like those word of mouth transactions are literally the best. And I just thank y'all. I thank y'all for taking the time to support me. I thank y'all for taking the time to share my content, to always be there, to ride with me, to make suggestions, because I listen to you all. I know that without you all watching and sharing, I wouldn't have a platform. I can't do this, by myself. So I enjoy that. Like I absolutely enjoy that. I enjoy being able to be open up to the world and put in different rooms because you all decided to speak about me. So yes, this is all. I hope I answered everything about being a content creator, things that people don't like to talk about. I know I gave you the bad and the good. I hope that you can take something away from this, that it will help you along your journey, whether you're a content creator, a chef, or you're just watching, you're thinking about doing something, you're doing something. My biggest thing is just go for it. If that's what you truly want to do, just go ahead and go for it. I don't have a strategy. I tried listening to different rooms and people giving their different advice and all that, and it didn't work for me. It did not work for me. Literally being myself has gotten me this far. There's no app, there's no code. People say, oh, I need to talk to you. Like, who's your marketing team? Me? Like knock on the other part of my brain, like, hey girl, come out here and help these people. There's nothing to get. You are literally buying my personality. You are literally supporting my personality. And I thank you for all of that. So yeah. So that's my raps and my talk on what it's like being an influencer that nobody decides to talk about. And there's that. I am Chef Joya. This is Plant Girl Magic. And let me know your thoughts about this podcast and share with a friend and tell a friend that Plant Girl Magic is where we talk about all things vegan and it gets a little real from time to time. I mean, it's always real over here. But yeah, we get a little deep on here. We'll start having like special guests and things of that nature. But we're going to get in the groove of these things because, like I said, I'm doing a podcast. I don't even know why I'm doing a podcast, but here we are. All right, make sure you're following me all over my social media pages at Cooking with Joya, Chef Joya. And if you have any ideas about other podcasts that you would like for me to talk about or people who you think I should have on here, let me know so we can make that happen. Ciao. Thank you for listening to the Plant Girl Magic podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and tell a friend to tell a friend. Join our community over on Instagram at Cooking with Joya, and be sure to subscribe to YouTube, Say What is Vegan, for new recipe videos every month. Your questions are welcome, so leave me a comment or send me a DM. To shop my cookbooks and the best seasoning blends you ever had, visit chefjoyousnest.com. Girl, just head on over to my show notes. All the links are there. I'll see you in the next episode, Joy Birds.